Okay, so again, today I recommend that you get out your notebook for extra paper because there's probably not enough room to show all of our work. So for number 1, let's start with number 1. Okay, number 1 is g of x equals 4x cubed plus 12x squared minus x minus 3. Do you remember the name of this form? What is it called? Standard form. And if you forgot, I wrote that on the board because that's the title for today. So we are graphing from standard form, finding all of the information. So I have 4x cubed plus 12x squared minus x minus 3. So it's my first step to solving this. What'd you say? Look for a GCF. Is there a GCF? No. So what's my second step? Yeah. How come I can split this one in half? Because there are 4 terms, and I don't have a given, which tells me factoring is going to be the way to go here. So on the right side, the left side, what is the GCF on the left side? 4x squared. Perfect. And what is left? X plus 3. And then on the right side, what was it? -1. Good. And that also leaves me with x plus 3. So I should have 4x squared minus 1 times x plus 3. And what is this completely factored? Am I done? No. How can I continue to factor it? Yeah, square root the 4x squared minus 1. That's a difference of squares. So what does that become? Yep, 2x plus 1, 2x minus 1. Does the order matter? No, these mean the same thing. And then the x plus 3 is still there. Now, is that fully factored? Yes, so I'm going to set this equal to f of x. And now I'm back where we started yesterday. Do you have a question, Jessica? No. Are you sure? Okay. So yesterday I started in factored form. So pretty much today we had to go backwards 1 step and then continue doing the same exact thing that we did yesterday, okay? It's not a whole lot of new stuff. It's just adding on to everything that we've been doing. More and more and more steps. So to find our key features, because we have to sketch and find all the key features, what are my first key features? What do I know? Okay, orientation. What is the orientation? This is positive because there's no negative out front. What about the classification? This is a cubic or third degree. So I'm going to call it a cubic positive. Okay. And can I find any intercepts right now? Yeah, what's my first x-intercept? What's my first x-intercept? Okay, -3, 0. That's one of them. What else do I have? 1/2, 0. And anything else? Good. -1/2, 0. And what about my y-intercept? Do I know that? Yes. What is it? It's 0, -3. And I think when we're in standard form, it's a little bit easier to tell. Because I plug in 0, that cancels. 0, it cancels. 0. So I'm actually left with this -3 right here. And then finally, I have in behavior. And this comes from what we just filled into our toolkit. So this is an odd positive. So if you forget, look at the box on your toolkit that says odd positive. And we're just going to fill in that same in behavior. It's always the same. Odd positive is as x goes to the right, where does y go? Does it go up or down? As x goes to the right, does y go up or down? Up to positive infinity. And what about as x goes to the left. Y goes down. Okay, and that is all of the key features I need. So now I can graph. And when I graph mine right now, I'm going to skip every other line. Okay, why am I skipping every other line? So I can graph the halves neatly. Do I have to do that? No, I would just have to graph it halfway between those numbers. Okay, so my points are at -3, 0, -1/2, 0, +1/2, 0, and 0, -3. And for an odd positive, where do I start graphing? Bottom left. And that looks like my cubic, so I'm done with number 1. Okay, so for number 2, since you had that given, that should have told you to divide, right? Okay, so I have 1, -2, -9, 2, and 8. Whoops, and 8, like that. So I have x cubed plus 2x squared minus x minus 2. That should factor to x squared minus 1 times x plus 2. Am I right? Okay. Which is x plus 1, x minus 1 times x plus 2. Did you all get that? If not, what questions do you have right now? Or did you get that? Okay. So this is a quartic positive. My x-intercepts are 1, 0, -1, 0, -2, 0, and 4, 0. Did you remember the given? Okay, because on the test, we didn't a lot of the time. It was a lot better, but we did forget it. That was a big mistake. And finally, my y-intercept is 0, 8. And as x goes to the right, y goes up. And as x goes to the left, y still goes up. Did we get all that information? Okay, how long did it take us to do? Like 2 minutes? The entire time that I gave you guys? Okay. I'm just asking because I'm trying to figure out how long it'll take you on a question on a test like that, because that is likely to be a question type. I don't know what the test looks like right now. Okay, now for my x's, I'm going to go by 1s. For my y's, I'm going to go by 2s. And that is going to be 1, 0, -1, 0, -2, 0, and +4, 0, and 0, 8. Okay, is that what you got? How do we feel about this? Pretty good? Okay. Okay, you should be starting on number 3 now. I'll give you a couple more minutes to do that one. And we'll go over it. Okay, I'm going to put up the answer for number 3 now. This should be what we got. And our factored form should be this, 3x plus 1 times x minus 1 quantity squared, or write it twice. And one of those comes from our given 0. Okay, please check that answer. Okay, for number 4, I know you're still working on that one, but as a reminder, we said the GCF is x, which I like. But every time there's a negative sign out front, I wanted to divide that one out from the very beginning. So you should have this. And that is what you should continue to factor, okay? Work on number 4 for me, please. Let's check our last one, number 4. I checked a couple of you and told you that you were right, but I might have flipped the factor on accident. So if that's the case, I'm sorry. Okay, I have f of x equals, it should be negative x times x plus 3 times x minus 2. That's our final answer on this one, okay?